Today I'm going to show you how to make Italian pasta, or something I made up. Kind of a quicker pasta, like a bright pasta, not something that has like tomato sauce in it that's been cooked for 10 hours that, you know, has that really rich South Italian taste. We're going to try and make something that's a little bit quicker, a little bit easier. It's going to have chicken instead of beef or ground lamb or something. We're going to have a lot of vegetables in there, and we're not going to cook them to death. We're going to try and get them to keep some of their flavor. Alright, for our pasta, we're going to need a few ingredients. Vegetable-wise, we're going to want some onion. Just have a small yellow onion here, sliced up. We're going to want some mushrooms, some garlic, and then we're going to want some of these small little bird's eye chilies. Now, these have a very intense heat, but the heat is fleeting. It goes away very quickly. It's not like a jalapeno where the heat sort of lasts. This will be a very sharp heat. You can find them usually at a Chinese, Vietnamese market, or a lot of grocery stores have them. They're about this big. They're very cheap. You get a lot of them. We're going to want some tomatoes and some basil. In addition to the vegetables, we're going to want some olive oil, salt, some wine. Now I'm going to be using actual real wine from California. Delicious stuff, so I'm going to be cooking with this and then drinking the rest of it. But if you want, you can use cooking wine. Cooking wine has nowhere near the same flavor. It's also loaded with salt, so if you add cooking wine, you don't have to add salt. But if you add regular wine, contains no salt, you do need to add salt. And then we're going to want some mozzarella. Now, fresh mozzarella is better. This is semi-fresh. I bought it about a week ago. It's a big block. Cut it up. It's starting to yellow on the outside, but on the inside it's still white. Then of course the chicken and the pasta. We're going to want something with some texture on it, and I like whole grain, so this will do just fine. First thing we're going to do is we're going to heat up some olive oil in a pan. Now we could use butter, but that would again give us a richer, nuttier, creamier flavor, kind of big, and would be good for cooking things down. Olive oil will give us a lighter flavor, so we're going to go with that. And first thing we're going to do, once we get this hot, the pan was already hot when I put the oil in, is we're going to put in some onions, and we're going to brown our onions. Once the onions are brown, we're going to add the chicken. Alright, now that our onions are nicely browned, kind of limp, we do want the onions to cook down. They won't taste very good if they're raw. Then we're going to put the chicken in. I've dried this, then I've cubed it so it'll brown quickly. Kept it on a separate cutting board, and just use things that I'm cooking to touch it so I don't have to wash my hands immediately. Just stir it around, make sure it's all mixed up, gets brown on all sides. Alright, now that our chicken is all nice and brown, I'm going to add the slivers of garlic, all of it, and the red pepper. Make sure you wash your hands after you handle red pepper, because it gets on your hands, you have the oil. If you touch your eye or part of your body, it'll start burning. I usually get it right on my thumb, right here, the gap where the nail comes out. It just starts burning. Alright, now this is cooked very quickly, and now we're going to add the tomatoes. The tomatoes are going to make this wet. They have lots of water in them. We're also going to add the stems of the basil. We'll leave the leaves with the pasta, because they'll cook very quickly. The stems, though, they'll just add some flavor to this. Don't want to waste anything. Alright, now, when we cook this, we want a little bit of water to come out of the tomatoes, but we don't want too much to come out. We don't want to add too many tomatoes and end up with a soup. What we really want is for the tomatoes to just kind of lose all their water and become kind of like sun-dried tomatoes. So we want a fairly high heat when we're doing this. something quick just to reduce the tomatoes down. Alright, now the last vegetable that we're going to add is these mushrooms, because they will cook very, very quickly. We're going to cook them, and then to really stop the cooking process, we're going to add wine. We're going to add the wine and the salt as soon as the mushrooms are cooked. Shouldn't take very long. And the wine will add water to the system, it'll cool it way down, and then we'll really just be sort of cooking the wine very slowly. Right now, we're still very hot, so we're cooking everything quite quickly. Mushrooms are getting tossed in. Going to add some salt. I'm just going to eyeball it, but have to taste it at the table, add more, or you can taste it here and perfect your salt balance. You can always add more, you can never take out. Alright, these mushrooms are just about done. So, time for some wine. Just a little splash of it. A little for yourself. And then turn everything way down. And we do want this to kind of reduce. But there should be enough in the pan to kind of get rid of all the alcohol. And then we'll be ready. So I'm going to show you how to prepare the pasta. Alright, so I have the pasta here, and then I'm putting the cheese on top. The cheese is already starting to melt because the pasta is hot. Put some of the basil in, and then when this is ready, I'll put this on top, and the cheese will be caught in between the hot dish and the hot pasta, and it will melt very quickly. And then we'll be ready to eat.